I've been inside of this planner for about a month now and I'm loving it, and so I'll do a quick flip through and show you why I'm loving it. So it's a Papertess full year 2023 planner. It is really nice and it's suiting me very well. It's similar to the common planner, and I do have an unboxing and a page through, as well as a comparison to the Sterling Ink common planner if you want to check that out. But I'm just going to show you how I've been using it. I still have a temporary cover, I guess. I would like to cover it, but the more I use it, the less urgent the covering is. And so right now it's got a sticker here from Ellie Mac, some lace from South Africa, and that's about it. And it's starting to get little pen marks and all of that, and I like that. I don't mind it being there. They do have plastic covers for it in the B6 size, but I don't mind it too much. I kind of like wear and tear as things go by. I've got this. Also thought I could show you what I've been using this month and really enjoying. And it's not, I always have the same things that I'm using and enjoying. Essentially, good pair of scissors. These scissors are my holy grail. I love them to bits. Dry tape in the form of a tape runner. Dry Tipex. This one's not that good. I have the Tombow one at home and it just fits my hands much better. Then at the moment I am loving the Sailor 123 ink, which is the pigeon ink, because the color looks like the breast of a pigeon. Loving this, and I don't have that in this pen at the moment. I was using it this morning with my Kakimori brass tip, no, stainless steel tip, and really getting the nice shading from this color. This guy's too thin for that. This is the Pilot Vanishing Point LS, so it's a bit nicer than the other one. Basically, the difference is this clicking mechanism. You go like that instead of in, out, in, out. I did eventually, this was my first big pen purchase, and this is my favorite pen of all time. It's in fine and it writes magically. I really love it. There are a few differences between this and the non-luxury version, but yeah, but I love it. She's my baby. She's my baby. I just want to just like touching her. But yeah, this pen is what I'm using. Inside it is with Pilot Iroshizuku ink, just in the plain black, because it works really nicely. It's a really wet one. I also use the extra fine in the regular one, but this is my favorite one, the fine. And I find the fine is nice for journaling as well as planning. Okay, then a Tombow, and basically this is the only color that I'm using at the moment just because I like it and I don't really like a lot of bright different colors. I also grabbed the Kuretake dot pens. There we go. Clean color dot pens. And literally all they do is make little bullet points, and it's great. And I'll show you how I'm using it. Then my regular Kuretake number 24. It's a great pen. It's a brush pen. Boop. And there we go. So it writes like that. And I absolutely love it. And so she goes to my plan every now and then. And then just a Palomino Blackwing pencil. These things are really expensive, but they feel so good. So good. And this is just the ones that were on my desk at the moment, but I like printing out images. This is also from Ellie Mac. This is from So Ellie Mac with this gorgeous raven bird guy. This is Brandy Kincaid, and this comes with her Extravagant Hope. She gives you printables as well. And then this is just an illustration that I did of this guy. Yeah, and then some random papers in there, because there's always random papers around me. So I tend to keep this on my work desk, and I keep this guy there too. Every now and then I bring this home. I bring this home once a month to scan in every page. So I've done that for this month. And last year I did the same thing. But other than that, it pretty much stays at the studio. Let's go in. Let's go in. And the first page is this gorgeous badge that someone from Get Messy made me, Janet. And it is for me, the Fairy Art Mother. This is from Brandy Kincaid, and my word for the year is a lot, and I like this, and so put him there. This is from Caitlin Gray. I do not necessarily follow it, but I like having this in here. This image was created, I put a bunch of photos of my favorite person of all time, my Nana. I put her into an AI, and it output a bunch of pictures, and I thought this one was really powerful. So I was reading a book called Wishcraft, and it's a magical book, and I highly recommend it. And in it, she spoke about goals, and she recommended having a muse. And so I decided I want to make my Nana my muse, because she's usually the kind voice that I hear in my head whenever I'm hearing someone talking nicely to myself in my own head. It's her voice. Yeah, and so I found this one where she looked very powerful, and I thought that would be a great picture for muse. So vaguely looks like her, a little bit, not quite, but the idea is there. My 2023 vision board, which is absolute magic, and I fully believe in all magic, in all vision boards. What a Freudian slip there, magic board. Yeah, and that's just that. Then this was really great from Brandy Kincaid as well. Actually, this month with her Extravagant Hope collection, she had a lot of really good words, things that really spoke to me. Still haven't done anything with the yearly pages or the quarterly pages. My goals, as a good reminder, this is December's month. And then I went straight into January. And over here I use a mix of pens. So firstly, I have the season and the class that's happening that month. And I've got this for the whole, well, that was a lucky page turn. But for every month, I have the images for the class that's happening at Get Messy that month. And then every 3 months, we have a new season, and then I'll put the season there. So for example, where was my good? You know, there's no new season here. So this September, October. Yeah. And then I used a combination of pens. This will be the fountain pen. This is my Tombow marker, which I don't have in this box, but I like using that guy as well. And this is my Kuretake number 24. And so just a mixture of them. It tends to be if there's something big happening, then it gets bigger text, and something a bit smaller or regular will get that. I don't put everything in here, of course. That will go more on the week pages or on the day pages. I'm trying to maintain a good, consistent color scheme for the way that I label events. So for example, T and E were on holiday. I was not. And so I marked that with blue. And then when T was away for business, I marked that here. So it's kind of like, if it affects me, it's in blue, and if it doesn't affect me, it's this color. I could also have, I think when I go away without my family, then I might have pink, but that hasn't happened yet. I think that's going to happen in February, so I'll have to decide. It'll probably be in pink. This is, oh, also Ellie Mac. I tend to enjoy the same artists. I don't really branch out of them. And I love printing these printables. They make me so happy. Then I get to be my minimalist self. I really like things being plain and simple and black, and then I get to add bits of color by my favorite artists. I had this here, I had my focus for the month over here, and so that's how I was using this column over here. Let's see, so February, I want to show, February is still in pencil. I just wrote this all out. This was not done in pencil, this was actually done in pen. You can see some of the things are crossed out, you know, and so I don't worry too much about that. But I just wanted to get everything out of my head and put it onto pencil here, because there were a lot of things that overlapped. So, you know, Carnival in Germany, holidays, you know, things overlapping. And so figuring it out with pencil was the way forward. I did this at home, and I used my partner's eraser. That's the stupid pink erasers. So I'm gonna have to get that better. So that's why I also don't use pencil, because I feel like when I erase it, you can still see it anyway. So I might as well cross it out, and then at least it's cleaner. Okay. This started in this planner. I wanted to only start on the 1st. Didn't want to, you know, move days, add days, or anything from December. I had a planner until December. And so I did that. Also from this month's Brandy Kincaid Extravagant Hope. I'll put this in here because it was empty. And the way that I've been using it is in layers. And that's the same way that I art journal, is that I just add bits as I go along. I don't worry if there's a blank page here and there. I kind of leave the blank pages, and then I'll just go back, and if I find something nice, then I'll add to it. So this was the last week of holiday. Again, the holiday was just for my husband and son. I did not go on holiday. Whoa. I think that you can also see how much I'm actually working by how little goes in here. And unless I'm thinking something through, then it'll be pretty empty. So you can see here, I had this, I halved it, and I've really enjoyed having this division, and I used it from the weeks to continue it with the sizing and all of that, because I really did like that in the Hobonichi. I tend to have the to-do list on this side and then any notes here. And so, you know, if like this date only had one task to do, because I was just, I don't know, oh, there we go, not focusing well. And so this was completely empty, and then sometime later I printed this manifesto out and put it in here. Ellie Mac. Some more things. Here we go. You can see more to-do list items, and then over here notes, working out how much electricity I used in my previous studio, writing when I'm going to get the refund because I overpaid, those kinds of things. What I did like in this is I liked having subcategories within my tasks. And then you can see also over here, I had a focus. And I like that, because then I know if only that gets done today, then the rest is just dessert. Like the rest is just sprinkles and happiness. But yeah, I also started a log. So I keep a log digitally of the things that I do in my business because I forget so quickly, so quickly. And if I want to reference or if I want to refer back to something, I really like having that log. And so I do that digitally, but I have been doing it a little bit on paper as well. And so like I said earlier, I scan in the whole month. And when I scan it in, I check for any tasks that are not done, any tasks that have been moved, any notes for myself that I have not completed that are still open loops. And by putting stuff from paper onto my computer, then I know that it's going to get done. And the way that I use my planner in general is just as an accompaniment to my digital planning, because the digital planning is the big strategy and the big chunk and the recurring tasks. This is my scratch pad, my way of processing, of thinking, and my like daily friend, I suppose. The next week, what I did really like about, or the decision that I had made is I would keep things consistent for a week. And if I wanted to change it up, I could change it up the next week. I mean, unless something's really not working. But I like having the flexibility of changing things every week, but also the structure of having things set for a week so I'm not thinking about every day and trying to force myself to stay creative. And so here I just made, like not big differences. I don't have a lot of tools in my wheelhouse for planning, but small differences. Yeah, the focus comes back again. And then any events and stuff that were happening that day. But all very plain, very black and white. I like it. I like it like this. And you can see sometimes I'm very wordsy and sometimes I'm not. And so there are 7 spaces between, let's go back here. 7 spaces between the weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I only work Monday to Friday unless I'm being naughty. And so I've kept these ones open. And then I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then this is just notes. And this week I actually did work both days of the weekend. And there were notes from workshop that I was giving for Get Messy. And I'm always writing notes of that because I forget things one sentence later. I like this spread. This is super simple. These birds are Ellie Mac. And yeah, my friends came here, so they got to be colored in for those weeks. Also wrote down any deliveries. I like knowing what to expect. And then I also added 2 blocks here. So previously it was just 2, now it's 4. And so over here I have my focus. Then I have any events that are happening that day, tasks, notes. Yeah, and so this week was a lot quieter because I had friends come over. And I'm trying not to add collage elements to this, but since my friends were here, since this page was completely blank, I added this. Okay, then this was a busier week, and you can see there are lots and lots of events, lots and lots of money being spent. I've started writing down things that I'm buying, like non-standard things, and it has been very good for my budgeting. Not this week, obviously, but that was the first time I did it. I started writing it sometime throughout the week. And I like drawing my fountain pens, and I ordered 2 new ones, and so drew them, added them there. Big week of asthma for me. I don't like the spread. I think this is my least favorite spread. And I think that's also why I'm not using my Tombow markers that much, because I like this one and this just seems pretty cheap to me. I can also see that I'm using my, so you can see here, this text is with the extra fine palette Capless, and this is with the fine, and this is a bit too much, especially with the palette ink. It's very wet. And there I try to use the dot and the X bullet journal system. And there are also days where I'm just filming, or days where I am recording podcast interviews and things like that, and my day will be really empty and I'm not doing a lot of tasks. This one, I had actually printed out a sticker for here, and then the sticker wasn't quite right, and I tried to take it off. I wanted to put this guy over there instead, and yeah, so I messed up the paper a bit. It is soft paper, and so I just stuck on one of the vintage papers that were lying around at my desk. This is a drawing by my son. I took a photo of it and I printed it out onto sticker paper. I love this. This is actually frosted clear and I really like it. I like seeing the grid through it. You can see with all of my, not all of my stickers, most of my stickers, not this one. This one was printed on plain label paper. But for example, this Brandy Kincaid printable was printed with the frosted clear, and I like seeing the grid in it. So yeah, crazy busy day that day. Wrote a lot of notes, and then a new week. And this is the ink that I've been loving, and I have been swatching all of my fountain pens with this one because it's a nice standard. It runs really wet and it shows off the pen. So I managed to get through that. Yeah, and this is an email that was just beautiful and kind, and so I printed it out and added. Then for the last 2 days of the month, this is Erin Ware. I love, love, love her printables. This is some smudgy note making. And yeah, and then, where was it? So then I moved from doing my dates over here and doing them like this and having my focus here. And I also have any events happening on the right. Okay, and this is now, we're getting into February, so I won't continue after this. I think I haven't hidden all the things that need to be hidden. But I like this. I like this. This is this dot guy. Really real, like seriously overkill over here. But that's what it is. And I like these colors. I like, you know, the pink. Not so much of a fan. This, big fan, big fan. And again, I don't want to be putting in paper ephemera, but it was a nice date night, and so I stole the business card. Yeah, and so that's how I've been using it. I've also been using the index. Okay, I can't show those notes, but for any notes that just require further thinking or further reference, something that I can refer to, I tend to brainstorm it in here, and then I will continue that brainstorm on the computer and then make a SOP or a standard operating procedure or workflow for the business. So loving her, fully in love with her. So glad that I made the switch, because I was going to use the common planner. Well, I was going to use a Hobonichi, then I was going to use a common planner, and I'm loving her. Really, really loving her. I think I'm going to continue with those daily structures, you know, with the data over here. I like it being open here. It makes it a lot cleaner, a lot more streamlined, and it's definitely making me happy. I'll show you, this is today, And today I was writing with my Kakimori and the Sailor ink. But this has been fun. This has been fun. This is not something that's going to happen every day. Well, I mean, it's going to happen every day this week, but yeah, this has been lots of fun. And so, yeah, continuing with leaving this space open, date, events, and nonsense. So that's my January. Onwards to February. It's been really helpful for my productivity, really helpful for my brain and letting go of things.